Hey everyone. Okay, so chocolate is melted. Usually it doesn't take very long. I had to switch out from the whisk. Sorry, I'm slightly clumsy. So switched out from the whisk. We have our nice dark chocolate. I'm going to turn this all the way down to low. As smooth as this is right now, that's what you're looking for. That's the exact consistency. Okay, and I'm going to take this over here so you can really see it. This right here, it's just melted chocolate. It is not cooked in any way, shape, or form, just melted. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I had a 1/4 pound of mixed roasted unsalted nuts in here. I've been kind of munching on them. So right now I have a little less than a 1/4 cup of roasted unsalted nuts. We're going to throw those puppies in there. All right. So let's stir it up. Let's coat up those nuts. And all we want is just a little coating here. All right. So now we have that. We are going to take some dried cranberries, plain old dried cranberries, and we're going to shake some of those in there. So that's about a little bit more than a 1/4 cup. What's going to end up happening is the chocolate's going to spread out. It's not going to coat as much as we're going with this. All right. So stir it in. And a little bit of chocolate really goes a long way. So there we go. Just like that. Now, we have a couple of choices in the house tonight. You can either go with a Rice Krispie type of a section in this, or you can go with pretzels. Personally, I prefer pretzels. So, I take my pretzels and literally crush them. I am not He-Man, I am not She-Ra. I am simply just a woman who has a very strong hand, and it doesn't take much to break these puppies up. So, mix in the little pretzels. You've got, I just use the tiny twists, the small regular mini shaped pretzels. Here, let me grab one, I'll show you. Just these little tiny ones. Not really anything major. Thing is, when you squeeze it, that's what happens. They break up so easily. It's wonderful. Alright, so we have all of this stuff covered in the dark chocolate. Now, dark chocolate does, there's so many properties, so many delicious properties about this. Healthy. You really should have 2 to 4 pieces of chocolate. Those little Dove dark chocolates that are out without milk and without sugar, you want to have a good, what are those big little squares? The big ones, I think you only want 2. I'd have to look and make sure. But yeah, I think you only want 2 of those. Okay, so here's what I've done. Let me just show you. So I have these little cups. Now basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and we're just going to take my teaspoon, okay, and we're going to separate servings here. And then what happens with this is these servings go into the fridge for a few minutes. Usually it only takes about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to freeze these, but let me just tell you, pop these puppies into one of those tiny little Ziploc bags for a snack the next day, and let's say you need to pick me up about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which we all usually do, have a little bit of fruit. If that does not work, you've got your emergency backup. And that's what this is it's an emergency backup. You've got your cranberries in there, which, ladies, we know that what that's good for. Helps us prevent some UTIs, some UTIs. You've got your dark chocolate. You've got some whole source of some nut oils. I just use the unsalted roasted from the bulk section. There's some chestnuts in there. There's some almonds. I think there's a little bit of pistachio in there. I don't know, a ton of them. And then just take 1/4 cup of pretzels, break them up, and there you go. Let me show you what it looks like in the cups, and it's going to look pretty much the same in the refrigerator. So here's what we got. Take a spoon, drop it in there. So what'll happen is when it gets put into the refrigerator and it freezes, this becomes one big chunk. The chocolate glues it together. Okay, that's basically what you're going for, is chocolate gluing all of this together. Chocolate, when it gets cold, sets whatever it's stuck with, it sets it together. And that's what you're going for, something that sets together, but when you go to munch into it, you have a little bit of wiggle room, so it'll break up in your mouth. It doesn't break your teeth. And for those of us who've had quite a few accidents with our teeth, that's a good thing. My mother always likes to say, I have a mouth of gold. My mouth is definitely worth hundreds of thousands. We've done a lot of work to it, thanks to my clumsy nature. Okay, so I'm just going to fill these puppies in, but essentially, this is what it's going to look like. And when I go to pull these out and put these into a little Ziploc, it's just going to be one big piece of candy, essentially. So I hope you enjoy your snack today, and I will talk with you all tomorrow.